let's continue the investigation into what is real I and what is anatma. All spirituality is search for the real I. That's why it's called self-realization. Find the real I. And masters like Ramana Maharshi go directly to the point. They just ask, who am I? You ask the question, who am I? Now this who am I is taken very casually. Okay, authors have started using it. Influencers have started using it. Movies have started using it. Okay, the theme, who am I? It is not a casual endeavor. It is to find out really who I am. And finding out who I am is called liberation, mukti, or enlightenment. And what is this real I? What the real I is, you always know it. It is nitya aparoksha, meaning you always know what is real I because you always refer to it. So you say, I was born 30 years ago. I was in India 20 years ago. I came to London last year. I will go to Australia next year. Okay, I was here yesterday. I ate that day before yesterday. Now, whenever you're saying, I did this, I was here, I was there, you're always referring to something that is unchanging. Okay? It hasn't changed. And anybody else, if I ask you, where were you? You will tell, I was in Hyderabad 10 years ago. If I ask another person, where were you? That person will tell, I was in America 20 years ago. Both are referring to the same I. Okay? Both are saying I. And that I, in their experience, doesn't seem to have changed. But has the body changed? I was born 30 years ago. That which was born 30 years ago, is it there now? Whatever was born 30 years ago, now it doesn't exist. It has completely transformed. To say it is completely transferred is mean to say it does not exist now. But I exist. Okay, you say, okay, maybe that body is not there, but I exist. That means when you say I exist, you're referring to something that has not changed. Has not changed now, has not changed last year, has not changed 10 years ago, will not change in the future also. That unchanging principle is what you say as I, is actually the I, is Atma. But you always confuse it with the changing body and mind. Now, how is this to be resolved? How am I to hold that real I and eliminate the anatma? So Janaka Maharaja, in the teaching to Ashtavakra, tells him, brings the distinction of the quality of the real I. The real I is like light. It's Atma Jyoti. Okay? Meaning, it illuminates. Okay? It illuminates and animates. Now, what does it illuminate? It illuminates objects. It illuminates body, it illuminates mind, it illuminates world. And it animates it. Whatever it illuminates, it animates. Now, in the process of illumination, you forget that which is illuminating, the real light, and you focus on the object, which is borrowed light. The object has no light of its own. It's like this. To give a physical example, a room is filled with objects, chair, table, TV, whatnot. When you turn out the light, nothing is seen. In the same way, Atma is that light, in the presence of which all objects appear. Now, if objects appear, it's fine. Atma also illumines. Atma also illumines objects which can take the form of a subject, and that object is called mind. Okay, that's why you say. So you say, I am Prasad. Okay, I am Sheshadri, or I am Suman. When you say I am Prasad, there is a sense of Prasad in you. Okay, and then there's I, real I. I am Prasad. You have a sense of Prasad and you have a sense of I. Between the sense of Prasad and sense of I, which is real? Instead, the question I should ask is, which comes and goes? Which sense comes and goes?
Name sense.
The sense of Prasad, I am Prasad, comes and goes. The sense of I am a man comes and goes. The sense of waking world comes and goes. The sense of I am something comes and goes. But all these senses appear on the sense that doesn't go, which is I. Your sense of I never goes. Be it in the waking state, in the dream state, or the deep sleep state, or in samadhi, at no point do you lose the sense of I. Because that is primordial. If you lose that, then there's no coming back. You cannot lose that light of I. Do you lose that? But you lose everything else. From the waking, when you go into dreaming, you lose every sense of the waking. So what sense you do not lose is actually not the sense, it is a real one. Everything else is a sense of being in the body. Do you have a sense of being in the body? Do you lose that sense? Is that a permanent sense? In deep sleep, you have a sense of not having a body. You understand? Right now, your experience of duality is, oh, I am in this body, and that person is in that body, so we are separate. But that sense of I am in this body itself goes in deep sleep or in samadhi. Okay, or in some state of intoxication. So these senses, this notional experience that you have, they come and go, but they all come and go in the sense that it doesn't go. Your sense of I never ever goes. That's why it cannot be told sense of I. It is real I. The experience of I, which is the Atma, the unchanging one, which is supporting all of this, holding all of these senses. Okay, like images, like the screen is holding the images. It never changes. Now, another thing about this sense of Prasad and I, sense of I is, when the sense of Prasad comes and when it goes, there's a sense of Prasad, then there's a sense I am employee, then the sense of I'm husband, I'm father. When all these senses are coming and going, are they affecting the real I? If they were affecting the real I, if the sense of Prasad comes, or rather, if the sense of Prasad was real, you could not have come out of it and hold on to a different sense at all. So you get a sense of, oh, I am depressed. If that was real, there was no way you could come out of depression. The next moment you could not be happy. Because the depression is you. The depression comes, the goes. The happiness comes, goes. The body comes, the goes. The thought comes, the goes. All of this is happening because you are none of this. You are the I that is illuminating all of this. And what is this I? It is the unchanging pure consciousness. Okay, it is a subject, it is a pure witness of all of this. So that witness is seeing the coming and going of the sense of body, mind, intellect, emotions, identity, thought, knowledge, ignorance, birth, death. But it's not affected by any of this. Now the only problem is this consciousness, which has the ability to illumine, also illumines an object called mind. Now the mind has the capability to create a thought that I am subject. Okay, now this thought in the mind that I am subject makes you think I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, I am suffering, I am happy, I have birth, I have death. Okay, always clouded with thoughts of what I really am. It's like the clouds covering the sun. The clouds covering the sun doesn't touch the sun in any way, but it gives the notion that there is no sun. Momentarily, the sun is covered. This cloud is the thinking of the mind, the thoughts in the mind. Now, the thoughts in the mind are illumined by the self, and their illumination, because they're illumined, the mind has, because they're illumined on such an object. So you can think of it as electricity passes through fan, electricity passes through tube light, but the same electricity, it probably passes through a holographic device. Okay, then that holographic device has the ability to create a hologram of a fan. Okay, that's where the confusion begins of what is real, what is not real. Okay, and whatever is projected, you start believing as real. That distinction has to become clear, that I am the self, because I am unchanging. All of these notions are appearing and disappearing in me, and I am the one who is illuminating these thoughts, feelings, emotions, and object, and I am pure consciousness. Okay. In the next section, Janaka Maharaja talks about the mind. Why is the mind doing this? Okay, and what is the way out of the mind? So we'll take up the that thread in the next session.